first of all, the way that the Second Amendment is being used is totally wrong. They always focus. See, and I tried it because I know what the Second Amendment is. It is the right to bear arms, but it's not the right to bear arms just like for like personal protection, bro. Like the Second Amendment is about the right to bear arms to stand up against the government. Like if you feel like if everybody felt like it was a lot of shit going on, like they gave people the right to bear arms to do like sort of like what January 6th was, but people don't listen to what they said back in 1776, bro. Like when they came up with all this, bro, like people don't listen to none of that. They don't listen to what the founding fathers actually said. They misrepresent what the actual in 1776 they were still having duels. Like it's on record. It's on record that people like prominent figures were getting killed in duel matches. Like stand back to back, take 10 paces, turn around and fire, bro. Like they were still doing that back when Washington and Jefferson and Adams was president, bro. Like they were still actively killing each other in duels. So when they wrote that in 1776 about that right to bear arms to stand up against the government, bro, that's what they meant. Like they didn't mince words or none of that.
A firearm, but everybody had a firearm.
They didn't mince words with none of that, bro. No. Like what's that dude, Alexander Hamilton? He was killed in a duel by a vice president. They got into it, and dog was like, "Let's go handle this." Yeah, we finna go handle this, and got killed in a duel, bro. Like this is real facts.
This is actually insane. The more I'm thinking about it, like, yeah, you right. Like,
bro, like this is what was going on back then when they was making the Constitution and all the niggas was getting cooked in duels. Like,
you know, on the topic, I feel like a lot of, don't get me wrong, I feel like I have a lot of Caucasian friends, a lot of white friends, right? But I feel like there's a lot of white people out there that look at black people just to have a problem with them. Like,
ain't no doubt.
We don't have to do anything wrong.
Ain't no doubt.
I could be in a grocery store in some little white city, and now everybody's looking at me like, oh, look at that gang member with the tattoos and his hat backwards and earrings. It's like, I'm here to grocery shop just like you are. I don't mean no harm. And this is that same sort of thing. Like we don't mean y'all no harm. We ain't shoot nobody.
This is. I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let you and Millz take it from here, bro. Black people don't have a history of violence, bro. As a culture, white people have a history of violence, and their fear and disdain of black people is they wonder if they get in power and gain enough power, are they going to do to us what we did to them? That's what they're fearful of. They're not fearful of you just because you're black. They're fearful of retaliation, bro. Yeah. They felt like, oh, it was 400 years of slavery, but that number is not even accurate. It was far more than 400 years. That's just the ones that they want to count.
So I looked at this. This is actually on the FBI's website. If you look at crime, black or African American compared to white, which there's it says, so there's 6,800,000 total crimes, or 6,000,008. This has to be by a city. Oh no, it's total arrests. 6,800,000 total arrests. Murder and manslaughter, white wins. Rape, white people wins. Robbery, white people win. Aggravated assault, white people win. Burglary, white people win. Larceny and theft, white people. Motor vehicle theft, white people. Arson, white people. Violent crime, white people. This list goes on and on and on.
But they're not gonna say that.
No, they're not gonna say that.
They're not gonna say that.
And this is where I leave it to you guys. Go ahead, Millz.
I said, and because they're the problem, until black people can actually stick together and we fight back. Is that what they want us to do? They want us to fight back. We need to team up and fight back, actually.
Charlie Kirk said something that I'm glad you brought that up. Charlie Kirk said something about Trayvon Martin hunted George Zimmer.
Yeah, he did say that.
Not knowing that I guess he realized this black guy didn't really know what he was talking about. He said that Trayvon Martin hunted George Zimmer, not knowing that it was the other way around.
No, ain't no doubt.
And the black guy had no answers for that.
But you got to understand though, at that trial, they put the black girl on the stand. They dissected her. That's why he won. And then they had expert witnesses come in from one screen, bro. It was one screen that was recorded. And they had people come in and say that it was George Zimmerman. And they had people come in and say that it was Trayvon Martin. And both of their mamas got on the stand and said, that was my baby that was screaming. But you know who they thought it was? It was George Zimmerman. But I bet you $100 to a bucket of shit that it was Trayvon Martin.
I agree.
Because he was the one that was being killed. He was the one who was being assaulted. But because they got experts to come in and they got people like, I don't, because I'm getting way off topic, bro. But you know, like trials aren't about truth. The justice system is not about who's guilty or like who's innocent. It's about who comes in and tells the best story, bro.
It's about what you can prove.
Who come in? It's not even what you can prove.
It's about what you can prove.
How?
I can tell you the
O.J. Simpson was guilty as all outdoors.
But they proved he wasn't.
No, they didn't prove it.
If you can't fit, you must quit.
Because a wet leather glove shrinks, bro. That blood shrank that glove.
Did I not prove that it wasn't me? I can't fit this.
If they would have hydrated that glove, bro, it would have fit, bro. This is something like, as a black person, I'm probably not supposed to say, but this is something that I know. Leather shrinks once it gets wet. But if it's rehydrated, that glove would have fit all day long. But they were so thirsty to prove that it was him and his glove.
What'd you just say?
The shoe prints.
What word did
the
you just
shoe
use?
prints match, bro.
You said it.
They said it was 8. It wasn't that many of those shoes made in the United States, bro. OJ say those are some ugly ass shoes, and then he on CBS Sports with the shoes. So talking about football, come on, bro.
Prove the point.
All I'm saying, bro, is
Them
that
shoes was fire too.
man,
I got
bro.
some.
All I'm saying, bro.
It's all about who can tell the best.
It's all about the best. Nothing is about what's right or what's wrong, the truth or nothing is about fact, bro. No. It's all about who can tell the best story, bro. And that's happening. That happened with Charlie Kirk and his death. And now they're pushing the narrative that it's the blacks. How? Show us one black that was involved. The white nationalists, white men fight back. Who are you fighting back against?
Yeah.
What are you fighting back against? Other white people? You just gave those FBI numbers that can be easily fact checked and looked up.
Easily.
And you know what people gonna say?
It's fake.
It's black on black. They gonna bring up how St. Louis is the murder capital of the United States. That's a black city. Followed by that is Memphis. That's a black. Jackson, Mississippi. That all these but they'll put out a number and say that Chicago has the worst crime per capita, but you won't see that they only surveyed 4 cities of a population over 1 million people. And they'll put those numbers out and they'll be like, oh, send the National Guard to Chicago. But you only surveyed 4 cities. Of course, if I'm 1 out of 4, like, oh yeah, that's a lot.
You in a big city.
But per capita, Chicago is actually 92nd in the grand scheme of things, bro. Like that's something.
Because they do that number per 100,000.
But it's per capita though. You have to go per capita.
Of course, because look how big Chicago is compared to other cities.
But you also there are other cities that are big that are on there too, bro. You got LA.
On what scale? LA, New York, Chicago. Those
are the 3 major cities.
What other city is compared to Chicago in size?
But those are the 3 major cities right there. You just named 1, 2, and 3.
Right.
And then behind that is Houston.
Right.
Right. Yeah. So you got California, New York, Illinois, and then you got Texas, bro. Right. Those are the 4 major things. So if you do those 3, and then you say Chicago is crime is outrageous in Chicago, of course, because you only did those 4 major cities.
For sure, I agree. Well, I can't agree. It's fact.
They pushing a narrative. They're pushing a narrative. Don't you like? But it's like omission. Like how they say like omission. It's a lie by omission. They're not giving you the full context. Yeah, we did a survey of where crime is bad at, and we put Chicago in there, but we only put Chicago, LA, New York, and Houston in there. Of course, Chicago's gonna win.
Yeah.